Welcome to the MLG Spring Championship Kespa Starcraft2 qualifiers. This is Group C, and we're going to go ahead and show the results for round of 16. We're not going to show any replays from there. We're going to move into round of 8, but quickly looking at the results here, we have Zhangbi going 2-1 versus Songduri. Cure 2-0's Crazy. Bisu gets a 2-0 over Zero, and Zest gets 2-0 over Juni.
Solar 2-0's Argo in game number 5 as Deer takes out Cassia 2-1. Hero from CJ Entus takes out Brown 2-1, and Hiva takes out Free 2-0.
Alright, let's go ahead and check out the game here from the round of 8. We have Deer in the bottom right-hand position. He's going to spawn in as the red Protoss.
His opponent is from Samsung Khan. His name is Solar, a blue Zerg player spawning in the 11 o'clock, the left top position of the map. This is round of 8, set number 2 between the two players, as the score right now is 1-0, with Deer taking the lead.
Solar been making a little bit of waves in Pro League and has qualified a few times before for Code A before being knocked out in the first round, but the ability to qualify consistently into Code A is no easy feat in itself. Oh
yeah, definitely. A lot of players say they start relaxing a little bit once they make it into Code A because, you know, it's so hard to make it out of the PC-bound qualifiers, the PC Cafe qualifiers.
Yeah, so just, you know, getting the confidence that, yes, I'm good enough to actually compete on the highest level of play, you know, gives them a lot of confidence, and the confidence helps out a lot.
Yeah, and also it's really tiring for the players because they have to play multiple matches in the same day, just like for any qualifier. So even for Group C right now, these players, they're all playing all of these games starting from round of 32 to the finals in one single day. That's the reason why making out of the qualifier is a really huge achievement for all of these players out there.
Yep, certainly is. Alright, well, we do have Solar opening up with the pool first. Deer goes for the early scout there. I like how Deer seems the favor early scouting. You know, he's not trying to be too greedy. He just wants to make sure that he knows what his opponent's up to so he can react accordingly. And playing the safer style early on in the game will prevent him from losing to anything that's like too kind of just like cheesy or silly early on that he normally wouldn't lose to.
And also, let's talk about the map itself. This is Akilon Waste, which means that the ramp is really wide, and it's okay for the Zerg players early in the game if the Protoss player does not wall off. And if you look at the score, the Deer has 1-0 lead. Solar, I don't know how he lost in the first game, but if Deer knows how Solar lost in the first game, then he might even say, well, Solar might go for something cheesy this time around, so it's better for me to just scout what my opponent is doing, make sure he is not going for a temple, and just play out the game.
Of course, looking at these players, their clan tags, we have Deer. I believe you said he was in the clan. SOS is the best Protoss in the world?
For a second, I thought it was actually SOS playing, but yes, he is. He named this clan like that.
That's an amazing clan name, man. Like, I almost want to leave Rex just so I can join that clan name because it's so funny.
Hey now, there's probably only one person in the clan.
No, man, I've been like, watch SOS be in there.
I don't think SOS is in there.
No, yeah, I think he's actually in Clan Rex as well. But Solar's clan, I believe it said Latte M, so I'm pretty sure that stands for Latte Mart, which is kind of like, yeah, think about it like maybe like a Walmart or something.
Yeah, Lotte is a huge company in Japan and Korea.
Yeah, they make a lot of different products and
even has an amusement park in Seoul.
Yeah, a lot of amusement parks, cinemas,
Lotte World,
convenience stores, everything.
How did we get from StarCraft to Lotte?
Because Solar just is a big fan of a Latte Mart, apparently, because that's the clan he's in.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. But just little funny things here and there that these players are doing to kind of showcase their personality. But looking at the game here, we have Solar. He's gone ahead and taken his third base, about to complete here. No gas yet, so he's not going to do anything aggressive early on in the game, like go for early roaches or even like mass speedwing attack. And that's something kind of different from players like Sue, or even maybe a player like Solti, who oftentimes like to get that earlier gas against the Protoss player just to kind of keep a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, Sue, of course, making out of the qualifiers and qualifying for MLG with nice aggressive plays against all the Protoss players out there in Group A.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Group B, not Group A.
No. Yeah. It's true. Don't remember who qualified from Group A.
Stats?
That's right, Stats.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Protoss, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And
it's because he lost his chin.
Yeah, that's gotta be it, man. It's definitely it.
Gotta be it.
Stats actually had chin surgery a few years back. Before then, he was
about a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago, and he was known as the chin toss.
Oh yeah. Now he had to take the surgery because
it was affecting his health.
Yeah, it was. So a little bit unfortunate for all the fans out there who knew him as a chin toss, but hey.
We got Classic now, man. Classic's the new chin toss. That guy has a manly chin.
Luckily, he's changed from Terran to Protoss this season.
Yeah, that's what made it work too. I was thinking like he could be the next chin toss if only he changed races.
And he's also performing fantastic in Pro League.
Oh yeah, he is worthy of the nickname Chin Toss, in my opinion.
Now looking at the game right now, Solar is going for Lair as he's droning up heavily behind this, knowing that his opponent Deer is not going for any early timing attack.
Yeah, we do see Deer is revealing the first Phoenix here, and the second as well. He's going to move around the map, try to pick off any additional Overlords that may be hidden around the map there. And if we look at the mini-map, Solar, he's got like one Overlord kind of like in the middle of the map, and that Overlord is like slowly flying home, but he's terrified of those Phoenixes. If
I don't think he's even going home right now because the other Overlord did not send them the message.
Oh man, that is a lazy Overlord on the job, and it may actually not get scouted, but
luckily
for that Overlord, it's a lazy Overlord though. It's not doing anything.
Now, we do have one Sport Crawler in each bases. This means that Deer can actually pick out these drones easily. Yes, you don't have to invest much into Sport Crawlers right now because one Sport Crawler can defend against tons of Phoenixes, especially with the Queen. But those drones fighting the gas, they always get affected. And look at this Deer, he has a 4 Pylon down right now. He has up to 4 Warp Gates. He might even go for early pressure against his opponent. Yeah,
I'd actually love to see him just like warping 4 Zealots here. He's warping in a few at the moment. There we go. There's that 4th Zealot. And Deer is going to just kind of abuse the fact that his opponent Solar has been playing pretty greedy here throughout the entire game, up to 73 workers. And, you know, he's going to be able to make some units here, but he is going to sustain some losses. And the Zealots here, they're catching Solar completely off guard. The Queen may end up falling here. The Zealots, as long as they have good micro, they can actually get a lot accomplished here.
Yeah, well, he doesn't even need micro over here because he's in a fantastic position. Now, the drones did cover a lot of Zealots by pulling the drones away from the middle line 9 minutes into the game. This is really hurting Solar.
Yeah, and additional Warp into Zealots are going to do some damage here, but the lane count now pretty high. The Zealots are in a great position. They can't get Tulsa around there, and let's not forget the Zealots have the +1 upgrade, which is allowing them to kill off so many more Zerglings than they normally would, and the Phoenix continuing their harass here. They picked off another Queen now. The Zealots got the first one, and the Lings are going to run up here, and they're angry. They want revenge, so they're going to kill off that Probe and Pylon, but the Zerg player forced to make a lot of Lings that he may have not want to make, and he is up to 72 drones now, but he did lose, I think, around 5 to 10 or so.
Yeah, so all Deer needs to watch out for right now is when he takes the expansion, he needs to make sure that their base is not covered by Zerglings.
Yeah, I think that's why he's taking the pocket expansion as well. But Deer also doing an amazing job with the Phoenix control here. He's killed up to 18 workers, actually, which is a really significant amount.
Yeah, the Zealots do a lot of damage, and the Phoenixes are constantly doing a lot of damage against Solar. And because of this, Solar is forced to make Corruptors, even before confirming that there's Colossus coming out from his opponent.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to go for the Mutiling composition here. That's what things seem to kind of move towards because he didn't get the Roach Warren early on and didn't get too many upgrades for his ground forces. So instead, he's got 7 Corruptors. We could see Solar try to move into a Sky Zerg composition, but he doesn't have a lot of gas and minerals saved up, so that's going to be, kind of a big issue for him.
Now, Deer looking at the game right now, he's just taking a 3rd expansion at the regular timing as a Protoss player in Heart of the Swarm. His opponent has a Corruptors coming out, but Deer also knows about it, so all he has to do right now is make some Stargates behind us, but we do have 13 units out on the way from Solar.
Nice force fields there, saving that 1 sentry. It's freaking out in between all those force fields. We do see Deer making additional Phoenix, though he's getting a 2nd Stargate down, as well as the +1 attack, and no fleet beacon on the way, unfortunately. But we are going to see Solar try to go for that Sky Zerg composition, and it's going to be up to Deer, the kind of essentially, you know, out-micro his opponent here. And oh, the third base may actually get canceled here. The Phoenix are going to need to come in with some Stalkers on the low ground in order to help deal with this. If Deer can secure 3 bases, he can get enough production to deal with the Muta-Tech switch. But if he can't keep that third base, he's going to be in terrible position. Excellent positioning from Deer. He's going to go ahead and pick off a few of those straggling Mutas there, but there's still a good amount on the field here, and they will pick off a few of these probes.
Yeah, this is actually not looking well as the Corruptors are in a perfect position, but that's also not a critical number of Mutas right now. So all he has to do is pick up these Mutas one by one, and as long as he saves the Nexus, he's going to be completely fine. These Zerglings, where do they come from? They're just going to die to themselves.
So excellent defense there from Deer. I feel like Solar was a little bit sloppy with his rallies with the Mutas. He lost, I think, up to 4 or 5 Mutas just from miss rallies and another like 2 or 3 from the ground units.
Yes, and also those Zerglings should have went inside the main base instead of trying to run to the third base, because he knew that all the units were over at the third base trying to defend against the Mutas.
Oh, and that Phoenix count is pretty much out of control.
Way too high
at this point. Yeah, he's up to 12. If the Phoenix count matches the Muta count, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, well, Deer also needs to be careful, but that's because there's 11 Corruptors out on the field, so Deer, he's going to eat away on the Mutas, no problem, but he cannot eat away on the Corruptors.
We do have a Fleet Beacon on the way from Deer, so he's going to eventually get that Phoenix range to deal with the Mutas, because he's realizing that Solar, he's really committing to this unit composition, but we do have an Infestation Pit on the way, so we could eventually see Solar transition into some Infestors here, but the Zerglings making a nice run by into the main base, the Colossus, Mothership Core, and Cannon doing a good job at killing off a lot of them, but still some Zerglings are going to get into the main base and hack away at a few of those workers. At the same time, we have a pretty large flock of Mutas with Corruptor support trying to move across the map. The Phoenix completely prepared. They're going to go ahead and chase those away.
It's so crucial for the Protoss, the Zerg player to make sure the Mutas are always next to the Corruptors, because if you just right move those Mutas and the Corruptors with the same hotkey, then the Mutas are going to move faster, which means that if the Protoss player sees it, he's going to eat away on the Mutas before the Corruptors can come back to defend against the Phoenixes.
Alright, we have the Aeon Pulse Crystal upgrade for the Phoenixes that increase their range being researched. And the Mutas may actually get caught out of position here. They're slightly faster than the Phoenix, but not by much. If they turn a little bit too much, the Phoenix can catch up, but looks like they are going to go ahead and... Oh, are they going to get a few here? I think he's waiting for the upgrade to complete before actually engaging that army head-on.
So it's really crucial for Solo to get Infestors now, because that's too many Phoenixes out on the map, and yes, he is going to go for the Infestor energy upgrade while also getting 5 Infestors out behind us.
I also like that he's going for the Burrow upgrade. That's going to give him a really nice shot at kind of catching Deer's army off guard if he gets out of position.
Now, Deer Solar, with this Mutafog, he still needs to be careful because he needs to make sure those Phoenixes do not eat away on the Mutas. It's so crucial for him to keep those alive.
Corruptor's doing a good job picking off the Colossus here, but the Phoenix count, I think they could actually take on the Corruptors, especially with the shield upgrade here.
Yeah,
and the Infestors have been revealed as well. The Stalkers going to take a little bit of damage there, but we need to see Deer with excellent control.
Well, there's one Infestor in the back, and nice bungle on all of those Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes are going to go, not going to go back home, but no, there's no more fungals left with the Infestors.
No more fungals left. The Muta count has been reduced to 1 or 0 here. I think there's a total of 2 now, and when you have that many Phoenix, they just get shredded apart almost instantly here. We see Deer continuing to press the attack here. He's warping in with a lot of additional Stalkers as well. The Corruptor count is also falling. The Phoenix will reign supreme on the sky, but the Zergling's doing a great job at handling this ground army here. At the same time, Deer also harassing one of these expansions on the side with his single Zealot. It's gotten up to 13 kills. That's a lot of drones picked off there. And Solar also trying to grab an expansion in the top right-hand position, just mass expanding how Zerg should be when they go with the style versus the Sky Toss.
You know a Zerg player is so far behind when the Phoenixes start eating away on the Corruptors.
Yeah, that's when you know you're in kind of a dire position. And Solar, he needs to do a tech switch, but
the problem is he doesn't have the economy to do so. He could only stay on Infestors, Corruptors, and Zerglings, which is not ideal in this situation, but that's the best that he can make it out of at this point.
Yeah, if he had a lot of Roaches or Hydras in the composition, it could potentially help him out here, but with that critical Phoenix mass, it's so hard for the Zerg players to kind of move into something else without killing off the Phoenix.
And let's be honest, early in the game, he's trying to go for the Corruptor Muta composition, but the Mutas didn't do as much. He was trying to eat away on the Nexus, but it's not like Zola killed a critical number of probes with the Mutas early in the game.
All right, looks like Deer is going to transition into Void Rays, which I'm completely agree with. I think that's a great decision to go from here. He's also going for the charge upgrade and getting his +2 attack. Oh, nice fungal there. Hit some of those Phoenix, but we do have a lot of them alive still.
Yeah, so if Solar goes for the fungal, he needs multiple fungal on the Phoenixes to take him out completely.
Don't forget, Phoenix are classified as light units, so the fungals are not going to do as much damage to them as they would to an armored unit. And the Zealots over here just completely hacking away at that expansion. The Zergling run by here from Solar going to kill off a few workers, but the Zealots here, in addition to the Mothership Cannon, will eventually pick those off. And looking at the supplies right now, we actually have the Protoss player ahead. It is pretty much all charge lots and a Phoenix, but still a dangerous force for the Zerg player in this position.
Yeah, and if you look at the army composition, Solar, he's going to try to go for the Ultras. But the problem is, Deer, he is already fortified on 4 bases right now, and it's actually Solar who's losing bases left and right. So you're gonna have the situation where Solar could squeeze out maybe 1 or 2 Ultra behind this, but that's gonna be the rest of his army. That's gonna be the last of his army once he gets the Ultras out.
And you know what, Ultras, they can't attack air units.
Yeah.
Void Rays are air units. You guys can figure it out from there.
And then you could also use the micro button called the E button and just shred apart on the Ultras.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the charge of my laser upgrade there, ability there. Think about it, that's like literally what it is.
That is what it is, and it's so easy for the Protoss player, especially since his opponent is making a massive unit right now. Nice fungal on the Zealot, but it's not going to matter because those Zealots are just tearing apart on all the Zerglings, and the Phoenix has also arrived at the 4th base.
Yep, and a few fungals go down, but they're missing pretty much the bulk of the Phoenix here. The Charge Rob's doing an amazing job at forcing fungals to be used, and picking off some of those infestors. Additional corruptors on the way, but you know what, it's not enough, man. It's not enough in this expansion. It's going to fall to the Charge Lots and Solar down the 4 bases once again.
Yeah, there's 5 Ultras coming out right now with 2 already being built. 2 already built and 3 coming out right now. The problem is Deer, he's getting Void Rays, like we said before, and there's not. As long as Deer sees what's happening, he's just gonna go back to the 4th base and defend that location for a long while. Those Ultras can shred apart on the ground army that Deer has right now, but he can't attack the air.
And look at the gas stockpile from Deer. If he wants to, he can easily add in, you know, like 6 to 8 Archons in the army composition, and then all of a sudden, he's maxed out on Phoenix, Void Rays, Charge Lots, Archons. Against this composition, the Protoss player is just going to smack down the Zerg.
Oh yeah, definitely, as now Solar, he's moving out on the map, and he doesn't even have great upgrades on these Ultras.
Yeah,
there's only a +2 and no carapace upgrade.
So he is getting the +1 carapace, and he's also going for the Ultraless armor upgrade to give him a total of +3. The Void Rage charged here, and I think Solar saw those and was like, well, that's going to be it for me, GG.
So here's a result of MLG Korean Qualifiers Group C, round of 8.
Yep, we have Zhangbi going 2-1 against Cure. Lisu goes 2-1 against Zest. A bit of an upset there, considering the Zest is a very heavy PvP favorite in the matchup as far as Pro League goes. And of course, the match we saw, Deer does 2-0 Solar, and then Haiba does 2-1 against Hero in game number 4.